Welcome to the Rotary Time Show, a public service announcement presented by the Rotary District 7610, Virginia. Funding for this program is made possible by the generosity of Rotary District 7610, Virginia. On our programs, we talk with Rotarians and community leaders to discuss Rotary International and how each level helps local, national, and world communities. I am your host, Pat Borowski, past district governor from the Rotary Club of Bailey's Crossroads, Virginia. A new Rotary year has begun in District 7610. Today, we'll learn all about what to expect during the 2022-2023 Rotary year in our district, and who best to update us firsthand but our new district governor, Sheila Brennan. Welcome, DG Sheila, to our Rotary Time Show. And for me, as such a good friend, this is such a pleasure.
Thank you. It is so wonderful to be here with you.
Oh.
I am just thrilled to be sitting next to you.
Well, we want to start off, as we always do, in asking our guests to please give us a little background before your Rotary years and how you actually got to Rotary.
Oh, wonderful. I would happily do that. Well, I actually started back in 2010, believe it or not. I worked with a Rotary Club, Dulles, as a matter of fact, here in our district. A girlfriend of mine asked me to help volunteer for their fundraiser. And I did that for 3 years. And when they were done with that contract, I merrily went on my way. And lo and behold, I met a gentleman in 2013, and he invited me to his Rotary Club's fundraiser. And I was so excited to see a different club and a different aspect. And when I went to that fundraiser, it was a 3-day festival in the town of Vienna. Thousands of people walking around and just having the time of their life. Now, I've been involved in a lot of events over the years in my federal position before I retired and since then. Sure. I have never seen a volunteer organization put on an event like this. And I knew immediately that I wanted to be part of it. And at that moment, I also knew that why I wanted to be involved was totally different. It wasn't for what I was going to get out of it. I wanted to help be part of what Rotary was doing with all the proceeds they got from the fundraisers.
Well, see, you are a perfect example of how bringing people to our service projects is a more effective first impression than bringing them to just a meeting. And then that led you to get involved, and the gentleman, of course, is now your husband, Matt Brennan. And then how did you get interested at the district level?
Well, you know, in 2015, my club leadership team asked me if I would step in line to become club president. And I thought, I'm just a baby Rotarian. But they saw something in me that honestly I didn't even know I had myself. So I accepted the challenge and the position. And I started hearing about the district and was told, well, you know, they come and visit us once a year and then they go and they do their district stuff. That's not my mantra. I immediately started looking into what the district was and why the district existed. And I knew that if I could someday get to the district level, I think I could have an impact on my club in embracing the district and asking them to come to the club for more than just telling us what the goals are this year. Right. You know, so I really am that cocky Rotarian that believes I can make an impact.
And you have. And I knew that from the first time I met you during Viva Vienna. So when you were
Yes.
at that district dinner, the awards dinner, and your club was reaping the benefits of it, the idea that you would be involved, gosh, you know me, I snapped it up in a second. So
Exactly.
and then I know you did the district conference work for our then DG of Jonathan Lucas. And then that led to the invitation for you to be interviewed. And
Absolutely.
thus is your journey, and now you're the gal of action and in place. So, given that, let's talk to us about how you see the role of the district governor and the real role that plays both for RI and for the benefit of our district.
Absolutely. You know, I firmly thought that the clubs worked for the district for a while. And I know that we have a lot of Rotarians out there that believe that. But having gone through all of the leadership training and with your wonderful mentoring guidance, I have since learned that our role really is to provide leadership and motivation to those clubs. We give them the guidance. So we serve their clubs. We serve as the catalysts and the facilitators to help them succeed and help them with their projects and what they need and whatever resources they need. It really is more of us leading them and not us leading and not let them leading us.
Yeah, and I can understand that perspective. Certainly when I began through my club, I really had no concept of what the district was, and it was hard for me to understand the relevancy, but and then explain the dual role, because you also, as district governor, have responsibilities to Rotary International as well, do you not?
Absolutely. And that is that it is up to us to really make sure that Rotary International knows the successes that our clubs are experiencing and the impact that our district altogether is having, and making sure for Rotary International that our members fully engage and understand what the foundation is and exactly the branding for Rotary International, ensuring that we are all one voice. We're speaking the same voice as we go day by day through our Rotary lives. And that is our responsibility. It's our accountability to RI, that we are ensuring that the boots on the ground that Rotary knows is out there are fully engaged and that we are providing them what they do need.
So in that regard, District Governor, what is like the step 1, 2, 3 that you see in order to build a stronger Rotary district?
First and foremost is we have to have a vision. If we don't have a vision, then we're just working day by day and dealing with whatever comes up that day. So if you have a vision, make it a big vision. Dream big. That's what our current vision is, our current theme is for this year with Imagine Rotary. Just dream big. We should be out there harnessing all our connections that we have throughout all our communities and working with that and the power of Rotary to have bigger impacts and helping our clubs actually dream big and fulfill those dreams.
Right, and that is taking those plans and actually putting them in action.
Absolutely.
Now, your administration is part of a multi-plan, and can you talk about kind of what that plan has been and where you are going with that as well?
Absolutely. And it's not new. It's the way that the district has been operating for a long time. The difference is that we have made it an intentional goal to provide consistency and continuity consensus and open and transparent communication across district governor lines. As we go year to year, it's not a one and done. We are building Rotary as we move forward. And since I started at the district level in the governor line, Jonathan Lucas was the district governor at the time, and his 5 enduring visions of light were the catalyst for me. That's what started me with knowing and understanding what these 4 C's mean. Because when past district governor Harry Henderson came along, he broadened that and really focused on membership. And then with your district, your entire year this year, we have worked lock and step every single day since the day you became district governor to work together on building the change makers that you have really mentored and worked with all year to put in place the vision that is now starting this year, where we're going to be taking a deeper dive into the Rotary International vision and the Rotary Action Plan.
And that is absolutely true. I mean, you were such a contributor and a supporter, and being able to work as a team and envision where we're going and going after that is, to your point, think big. If you think small, you're going to accomplish even less.
That's right.
That's absolutely true. Right now, we're going to take a break and be right back and talk more with District Governor Sheila Brennan of Rotary District 7610 for the 22-23 Rotary year. Please stay with us.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close.
Of wanting
to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We're this close.
This close. This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
Welcome back to the Rotary Times. We are here speaking with Sheila Brennan, Governor of District 7610, Virginia, for the 2022 and 2023 Rotary year. So Sheila, you were talking about how you perceive the district from the club level, and as you move forward, learn that the responsibilities of the district are so much more. So I'd like you to tell us, what are your 3 major priorities coming into this year?
Certainly. Well, Rotary branding has been, as we all know from Rotary International, it's been a difficult initiative for Rotary. They really want us to embrace our branding and make sure that our clubs know and understand it. So I have made an intentional goal of really doing a deep dive into the vision statement and the action plan that Rotary has put out for us. And as you and I have worked together, and Renee and Amelia coming behind us, we are trying to make sure that we instill these changes into our assistant governors and our clubs. Right. One of the goals that I have this year is I've changed the focus of the assistant governors a little bit. They're still the first call for all of the Rotary clubs to go to. But I want those assistant governors to really be the celebration ambassadors for those clubs. Find out what they're doing right and celebrate everything they do. Make them feel good about what they're doing. I firmly believe if we find out what someone is doing right and we really enhance that and really key in on that, everything else is going to start to fall into place. I want to make sure also, as you know, at CPETS this year, we had an actual training session for all the president-elects on creating a strategic plan.
Right.
And taking that strategic plan back to their clubs and not just sitting by themselves and putting something together. They are working with their presidents, their president-elects, and president nominees and working on their vision, like our vision of continuity and consistency. We're bringing that down to the club level, and they're loving it. They are working up 3 goals and concentrating on 1 goal each year and having an impact in their own communities and their own clubs, following our lead in how we are managing at the district level.
Well, you know, Sheila, that is such an important message here, because too often, as you know, at the club level, it's kind of like tag, you're president, and everybody runs away. And so the idea that they need to be working as a consistent team is great. Now, you brought up the subject of the Rotary Action Plan, and I'd like you to share with our viewers, what is that action plan, and how is this going to help us at the district level?
Absolutely. I call the Rotary Action Plan our roadmap. And I know that and a lot of the training that I went through was to help us prepare for what we really want our impact to be the year we are district governor. What are our goals? Well, I just kept going over and over that for the last 2 years. And I really got into the Rotary Action Plan. It's 4 simple steps, not simple, but very clear cut. It is increasing our impact. It's really engaging our members, expanding our reach, and enhancing our ability to adapt.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's everything we're supposed to be doing anyway as Rotarians. So why rebuild or start over? I'm using Rotary's roadmap as my roadmap of guidance for this year.
And to your point, Sheila, those 4 steps are very clear. Now, they may get, as you said, a little complex once you get into it, but if the vision is clear, then it's easier to figure out what you're going to do first and second. And, you know, talk a little bit more about impact. You know, a lot of clubs talk about how much money they do and everything else, but talk a little bit about what that impact is, the result of all of that, and why that's important.
Exactly. And that, I think, is what we should be out there and working with our communities to make sure that we help them with their impact. It is the results of everything that we do, everything we bring to our communities, everything we bring to the Rotary Foundation. It's the impact on the world. And it's a global impact, it's a community impact, and it's a personal impact. When you see a child that is smiling because they have a clean glass of water that they can drink for the first time, you really feel proud about the work that you did to allow that glass of water to be placed in that child's hand. That's our impact.
Absolutely, and bringing it home, and I know you've talked about this before, it's wonderful that we can say how much money we gave to a food program, but if we can translate that, to your point, how many children, how many people have we assisted in our community with that food program? And that's what's important to non-Rotarians.
Absolutely.
Going on with the vision statement and all, a couple of years ago, Rotary came out with a new vision statement, or I should say, a vision statement that underscored diversity, equity, and inclusion. And would you talk a little bit about really what that is about and how we see that in our district?
Certainly. I can tell you the first time I heard it I just about jumped out of my chair when I was sitting and past district governor Jonathan Lucas became district governor, and almost the first words out of his mouth were diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that was his number one goal. And I was just so happy that that was going to be one of our primary paths for the year. Jonathan really laid out the path for us, clear and concise. It's always been in this district an objective of this district to make sure that our clubs reflect the communities that they are part of, and constantly educating and providing them resources on how to do that. But Jonathan really laid out a clear-cut path for us to really work on that. Look at the organizations that are in our communities and partner with them. Don't run around and ask them to join Rotary and we want some of your people to be with us. No, partner with them, get to know them. Rotary is all about relationships, and that's what diversity, equity, and inclusion is all about as well. The more you get to know somebody, the more you embrace them and you understand them. And it just increases the impact the two of you together can have in your community, in the world, in your club. And we are absolutely so far ahead of where we were when I first joined Rotary on embracing these philosophies and opening the door and welcoming everyone to walk in and join us, whether it's as a volunteer or as a partner or as a Rotarian. We take it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, working together, getting to know each other, I mean, you get to know them, they get to know you. And I think particularly through what you were saying, the service project, it demonstrates a Rotary Club's authenticity for the kinds of gains and investments in communities that you've talked about.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, now, what are you looking forward to most as the district governor for this year?
Oh, let me tell you, I want to grow our pipeline, and I love saying that. You know, I spent 39 and a half years in human resources management, and in HR, what is your main focus? Is getting employees. And I know when I was a baby federal employee, all I ever heard was, boy, you really have to know somebody to get in the federal government. And I kind of feel like that the communities and some of the people outside of our Rotary clubs believe the same thing. You have to know somebody to get into Rotary. But let me tell you something. I can tell you in the town of Vienna, the people that know the most about Rotary are our third graders and fourth graders, because we are out there, we're visible, we give them dictionaries, and we put on Viva Vienna for them. And they know and recognize that Rotary wheel. And I started thinking about my plan and my goals, and I thought, why aren't we making them Rotarians? Why do they have to wait until they're in middle school to become an interactor? So I started really looking at our district and the families and my own grandchildren and thinking we should be able to bring in younger Rotarians, complete families. And I started doing some research and discovered that there are family clubs all around the world. So we are going to grow our pipeline. We're going to bring them in as young as we can bring them. And we are going to create Rotarians that will go all the way through high school, college, and into their young professional life. Now, we don't run around after a Rotary meeting and tell everybody what we've done in our Rotary meeting, but third graders tell all their friends and all of their neighbors about the fact that the Rotary Club came in and gave them a dictionary.
Yep.
And that's exactly why I want to start as young as we possibly can.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you shared a little vignette about your own family. And I know that you have, and Matt has, with your children, included them in Rotary. And don't they have Paul Harris Society fellowships?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Matt's daughter, Kelly, is 21 years old now, and she's been a Rotarian since she was born. She's never been inducted into a club, but it doesn't matter. She has a Rotarian heart. She wears a Paul Harris Fellow lanyard around her neck. She has worked for the Vienna Rotary Club's fundraiser, or been at every one of them for the last 21 years. And my grandson, when I joined the club in 2013, got involved with me in the Vienna Club. And that boy, you put a tool in his hand and he'll build anything. And that's what he has done. He built our storage room. He has been the secretary of the club. He has done Viva Vienna for many years. And my club, as a thank you, made him a Paul Harris Fellow.
Okay. I just want to ask you one quick thought, because we've got to close the program.
Sure.
Okay. And thank you very much, Sheila, for being with us today and sharing your vision for our district. And of course, good luck and support.
Thank you.
Funding for this program is made possible by the generosity of Rotary District 7610, Virginia. From the Rotary Times program, I am your host, past District Governor Pat Borowski, from the Rotary Club of Bailey's Crossroads, Virginia. You are welcome to join us at a Rotary Club in your area for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or join us at a service project. You can find a club near you by looking us up on the internet. Many clubs are now conducting meetings virtually and with some form of hybrid approach. You just need to look us up for the details. Remember, our time is your time, and together it is time well spent. Please join us for our next program as we continue to celebrate Rotary's 117 years of doing good in the world through service above self.